I didn't think about that. I do have Clint Ramos, the costumer's contact. So he's gonna get a call from me like, could I get the beaded dress? Because that was my favorite one.
I feel like you deserve at least the beaded dress.
Thank you.
After this. I know it's been a long day for you, so thank you so much for your time. I know these days are just insane.
Thank you for having me.
I have to start out, obviously, you've told the story about being handpicked. I don't think many of us get the chance to meet our idols, let alone get to know them, learn everything about them. Was there a moment where your relationship shifted from she's up here, she's my idol, a woman whose song I sang in my idol audition, to she's a woman with struggles and stuff that I've been through as well? When was that shift, or has there been that shift?
That is a great question. I want to say yes and no, because it's Aretha Franklin, you know? Right. But I guess through a lot of the conversations, like it got to a point where we spoke weekly. Yeah. And I felt like she ended up teaching me more about life while teaching me about her life, which allowed me insight on the person, you know, the everyday of that, outside of the stage, outside of the lights, to know she's a mother, she's a woman, a human. So, but again, it's rare when we get to see those sides of people, but it helps because it makes you as an actor even care for that person that much more, to want to tell their story in the best way and the most careful way you can.
I'll bet you had many moments like this. I mean, I never even got to meet her. And throughout the film, when you're watching her make some not so great decisions, or you're watching her getting beat down figuratively and literally, you just want to be her friend and shake her and give her this confidence. You've always exuded this confidence. Did you think about what it might have been like if you were friends of hers back then, and what you might have said to her as she was struggling with some of this internal stuff?
Ooh. What would that have been like? But you know, the power in that is she got to tell me and speak, you see what I'm saying? Yes. About that. Yeah. So did I think about that? No, but it makes me want to ponder about it now. But it in learning that from her, I remember her speaking of things like that pertaining to my life. And it's like, it didn't register to me until filming and reenacting her life that I realized that. So I'm having a lot of moments like that. Like, she wasn't just talking, she was really speaking from experience. Yeah. She lived these things, you know, which makes me treasure our conversations even more.
You are so blessed to even have that kind of relationship. I love how this movie also represents the value of really doing things that are you, not singing for somebody else, song written for you that makes sense to you, really just being you. What's the most personal song for you in this film to have performed?
No, I would have to say, with it being said like that, Precious Memories. That's the one. It's right before Amazing Grace. Because through it was kind of freestyled. So it was telling her story, but from my context in a way. So it was kind of blended for me there. So in the way you asked the question, I would have to say Precious Memories.
That's a good answer. I know they're about to wrap me. The clothing everybody talks about. Do you actually have something of hers that she gave you?
No, but you guys are going to make me go back and get some of it. I didn't think about that. I do have Clint Ramos, the costumer's contact. So he's going to get a call from me like, could I get the beaded dress? Because that was my favorite one.
I feel like you deserve at least the beaded dress.
Thank you.
After this. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope the next one's in person. Again, congratulations on all your success. And thank you again for your time on these crazy Zoom virtual junket days, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Tara, I'm tired. So
yeah, Marlon, you look very different to me. You've got a different hairstyle, and
I'm just gonna let Paul do all the talking. I'm just gonna lay down and move.
I'm like either he went all out to really go into this role beyond the beard and the stash.
Yeah, I'm just tired. Talking to people all day. You never stop. 4 minutes at a time. It's like boxing, 4-minute rounds at a time. I got to get a big conference room, and y'all gonna all ask me.
I know.
Whatever questions, and it's gonna be 4 or 5 questions.
Hey, here's an idea.
I'm gonna ask me your questions.
Okay, you asked me my questions. Here's a better idea. Why don't
What did you learn about Aretha Franklin when you did this biopic?
Well, I wasn't in the biopic. No, that's not what I'm going to ask you. You know what I'm going to start off by asking you? And tell me if you've been asked this. Tell me, because I know these days are long. Believe me, I can't even imagine what it's like Zooming and doing this. Obviously, Jennifer has told the story about being handpicked by Aretha to play her. If you could be handpicked by your idol to play them in a biopic, whether they're still with us or maybe they have passed, who would that be?
Probably Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I would love to have been handpicked by Richard Pryor because I think him and I have similar skill sets, and that he was a great dramatic actor, but he was also extremely funny, physical, gifted comedian. And I think although his life was full of a lot of tragedy, he always turned it into comedy. And I do the same with my life, except it's not as crazy as his.
Well, you're, like you said, you're talented on both fronts. I did not get to know Ted. I don't know Ted. I have to tell you, though, I think there are a lot of probably sons, daughters, and dads who can relate to the fact that Aretha's dad was not a fan and was very, very clear in that. Have you ever been in that position where maybe you were dating somebody or met dad and you could tell dad was not a fan?
You know what? No. Fathers have always liked me. I've never, even if they've never liked any other boyfriend, I'm always the favorite. I don't have negativity in my body. You could sense it. You could smell it when somebody's just not a good person. I'm a good person. They know that I'm gonna make their daughter smile. Like, they're gonna have a great time, and they know I'm honest. I don't care about, like, for me, like, commitment and those things. As long as you're honest and you're real and she's safe and you love her and you're pure, you can have whatever relationships you want, but you just got to be honest. And I'm not a liar, I'm not a cheat, I'm not a thief. I just want to make you smile. And if that's good enough for your dad, and I know every father, I have a daughter, the only thing I would want is whoever her mate is, just to keep that smile on her face, and you're always going to be a friend of mine.
It's interesting. He's not the best guy, and he also comes from sadness as well.
It's tough. I think all devils were once angels. If they were, you know what I mean? It's like all bad people aren't all bad. That there's a reason why he is the way he is. Damaged people damage people. And if he's hurting her like that, imagine how hurt he is. And he's crying out. And there's a little boy in there that's unprotected, that has mommy issues, daddy issues, and there's something so vulnerable about him. And his intentions are good, which is to rescue this woman and make her great, but the damage gets in the way. And but when he loved her, and when it went south, he just got insecure and he got jealous and he didn't know what to do. And I think that's the complexity of the character that I really embraced. And he's a hard guy to completely hate. You just wish he would do better.
Yeah. Well, as Oprah always says, when we know better, we do better.
Speaking of Oprah, my HBO Max special, HBO, you like that?
Yep.
You know what it is. I got this great drama coming out, Respect, on August 13th and on the 19th. You know what it is on HBO Max. So basically, I'm a crazy man.